This is going to be a video over the 5 dumbest things you should never do in GT Online, more specifically in the street races. Now I know we're all trying to grind out car meet rep, and this week has been double money for all street races, so double the grind there. Now while grinding out these street races, you run into a lot of idiots who need to know what not to do. Now if you're watching this, and you probably aren't one of those people mentioned, because these people are such morons that I doubt they even know how to use a YouTube search bar. Now if you don't actually know any of these and actually learn something, I'm not saying you're stupid. You're clearly not, because you know how to use the internet. I'm just saying that you aren't aware of it, and if you learn something here, then good. Knowledge is power. Also, this may come off more aggressive than it actually is, but this video is mainly a rant and for entertainment purposes. But that doesn't change the fact that everything I say is true and can be very educational if you just aren't aware of any of it. Anyway, let's begin. Setting the race to 1 lap. This doesn't help anyone. I'm serious. 1 lap will get you the bare minimum money and car meet reputation, even with double money bonuses. Just set the race to 3 laps. You'll get much more money and you'll earn it more efficiently. If you don't believe me, then set a timer and track how long it takes you to do 1 lap. Write down how much you got, then track how long each loading screen takes. Write it down, then track how long it takes you to do 3 laps and how much money you make, etc. Then after using super duper omega mathematical equations, you'll learn that you make much more money at a faster and more efficient rate than if you did 1 lap. And if that isn't selling you on why you need to set it to 3 laps, then this should. It's more fun. Doing 1 lap feels like a sprint race, while doing 3 laps feels like an actual street race. If you want to do sprint races, go to the car meet and do those there. Let the street racers do the street races. Setting the race to more than 3 laps. Now you might actually think that more laps equals more money, period. But here's the thing. With more than 3 versus just 3 laps, you'll find out that you earn more money at 3 laps. And if I'm not mistaken, which I might be, but if I'm not mistaken, the amount of car meet rep and money you get per race maxes out at 3 laps. If it doesn't, then the difference between 3 laps and more laps is so insignificant that it appears to not increase at all. So just do 3 laps. I did a race earlier this week, everyone was a noob, and I got the lead and got pretty far ahead almost instantly. Then I realized the host set it to 20 laps. Setting a race to 20 laps is like running 4 laps when you're trying to do a 400-meter dash. Sorry, but that's just an extreme waste of time and effort, not to mention pointless. If you see the host set it to any more than 3 laps, just leave the game. Although, if it's set to 4 laps, might as well stay because you'll spend more time on the loading screens than it will take for you to do the extra lap. Maybe 5 laps if your internet is slower. But don't set it to 5 laps, because then you're just wasting time. Driving backwards and or griefing. Now I'm not talking about intentionally ramming someone into a wall or T-boning them on a turn as a means to overtake them. Although this may be kind of a dick move, you still get something out of it. You still benefit from it. And we can always just catch up and do it to you as revenge. Now I am talking about driving literally backwards or just crashing into people just to crash into people. Like, they're not trying to win. They're in the back and they're going out of their way just to make other players, or sometimes just one specific player, lose. This is known as griefing. At least cargo griefers get a KD ratio and $2,000 out of griefing. Race griefers get literally nothing except time wasted and money lost. Now I tried coming up with an analogy for this, but I literally can't think of anything as pointless as griefing a street race. So don't do this. You're not funny, you're not cool, you're just being a dick for the sake of being a dick. And you clearly have not been disciplined as a kid. Probably goes to real life car meets and tells people, actually, whenever someone literally says anything about their own car. Either that or they haven't left their house in 6 years. I don't know, you tell me. Turning on ketchup. This one most of you probably don't know because I'm literally the only one I've seen do this, but just turn off ketchup. If you don't know what ketchup is, it's a setting that's automatically set to on, and it's where the game intentionally slows down the person in first place. All this does is punish the better racer and help the racer that's just barely worse at the game than the better racer is. Nothing is worse than outracing everyone the whole race just for you to get past in the final straight of the 3rd lap because the game decided to throw the bone to the guy in 2nd place. I just know someone's going to say, oh, you're just mad because you got 2nd. Well, yeah, I was in 1st place 99% of the race, and for a reason. There's no reason that the game should be slowing me down to help the guy who's slower than me. Now, I'm not talking about slipstream. That's usually how they overtake you so quickly on the last straight. But they wouldn't even be in close enough range range to use the slipstream in the first place if catch-up was turned off. Having catch-up turned on is the equivalent to telling Tom Brady that he has to sit out the fourth quarter via NFL rules because they feel the need to help the guy who's losing instead of letting the better players actually win. And in fact, we've literally seen this recently in the Tokyo Olympics. They decided to give the Olympian who was acing the entire pentathlon a horse that didn't even want to participate. Moral of the story, if you're host, just turn off catch-up. Please. I've been wanting to get that off my chest for a long time. Alright, turning off or on custom vehicles. Now this one is a bit more circumstantial. Every entry on this list has been for the betterment of everyone in the lobby, but this one is for the betterment of you specifically. If you don't have a fully upgraded custom car, turn off custom vehicles. Don't leave them on, and vice versa. Custom vehicles being turned off means no one can use their fully upgraded car, making playing field more fair. I was always in the back half before getting a fully upgraded Calico, and with it, I win almost every race. Coincidence? I think not. Even if you do have a fully custom car, it still might be worthwhile to turn it off, because I've noticed that people seem to take the race less seriously when they're turned off, making it much easier to win if you actually tried. Alright, that is pretty much it for this one. If you guys want to see more of these, or if this does well, then I'll make more. And even if it doesn't do that well, I still might make more because this was fun to make. And it was good to get this stuff off my chest. I'm not going to keep you imprisoned for much longer, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.